Hey guys, here's a super easy flower crown tutorial for you. The supplies you are going to need are fake flowers in assorted sizes and colors. You will need some floral wire. Mine looks kind of like a twist tie and it has a cutter built in. You'll need some floral tape. You'll need a measuring tape, which is kind of optional, some scissors, and then you will also need a hot glue gun and glue. First, you'll need to measure your head. I did this with the measuring tape because I'm making it for someone else, but you can also just measure with the wire around your head. And then you want to double it. Next, you need to cut 3 pieces of wire at the doubled length. The reason for this is because we're going to be braiding it, so it's going to shorten as we braid it. So like I just said, we're going to braid this. So tape one in so it just all stays together, and then go ahead and braid it like you would your hair or a bracelet or anything else. By braiding it, we're creating a nice thick flat surface to glue our flowers onto, which is also why I like this floral wire that kind of looks like twist ties. It's thicker, but it's also flat and it's wire, so I mean you can't really go wrong if you use it, but I just like this better than getting a certain gauge of wire. And there we have our entire length braided, and you can see that it makes a really nice flat surface to glue onto. Now you'll need to remeasure the length needed to fit around your head. For me, that was the 21 inches. Then you're going to form your crown to fit to that length and tape all the way around. After a little bit of playing, I found it was easier to rip off sections of tape and then do it that way. But you're going to see that your crown will overlap for the majority of the way, and then as you're taping, you'll notice there's a little section that's not overlapped. Go ahead and just tape all of that as well. That'll make it so there's no wire rubbing up against the head when the person is wearing it. So you can see here I have taped all the way around my crown. I've created a nice flat area as best as I could. So next we're going to prep the flowers just like we did in our floral monogram. We're going to take them off of the stem, and then we are going to just cut off that remaining piece of the stem, the little nub that is left. You'll be left with a nice flat surface. So we are finally ready to glue the flowers onto the wire. This is where the flat back on the flowers and the flat wire headband is going to come in handy. It doesn't take a lot of hot glue, but you want to make sure you get it onto the wire and then hold it there for as long as it takes to dry so that your flowers aren't falling off as you go. One tip I have is to kind of organize your flowers how you want them to go on the crown before you start gluing. That way you have an idea of what it's going to look like when it's finished. And here is my crown before I do the next step, which is completely optional, so you could be done at this point. So I'm doing this completely optional step because I'm making the crown for my niece and I don't want any wire or tape or anything next to her head. Basically, I'm just cutting some of the leaves off of the fake flowers, and then I'm going to glue those onto the inside rim of the crown. And here's what it looks like after you've glued those leaves down. And there you guys have it, your very own flower crown. Check back next week for a new tutorial. Bye guys!